Students, today we'll go through the same unit, human relations. We have discussed up to the dimensions of human relations in nursing. So in the previous class we have already discussed this. Then we'll see the next. What are the strategies to promote cardinal human relations? We'll discuss today. Okay, what are the main things or what are the strategies? What are the strategies to promote cardinal human relations? So there are some strategies which helps to promote cardinal human relations. Okay, so common organizational goals. Okay, this is the first strategy of for promoting the cardinal human relations, common organizational goals. Okay, in the group cohesiveness. Okay, so cohesiveness means the part which fix togetherly. Okay, cleave together. Okay, so here what it says, the organizational has having the organizational goals are common. Those the common goals of the organization. Okay, it should have common organizational goals, group cohesiveness, effective communication practices, defines organizational structure, then strengthening a sense of oneness, training and skills building in human relations, then policies to promote coordination and cooperation among employees. Okay, so what it says, these are the strategies to promote cardinal or import. You can say it's effective human relations. Okay, it is helping to promote a, effective human relations. So these are the strategies. Okay, effective communication practices. It also helps to promote cardinal human relations. Okay, then defines organizational structure, common organizational goals, group cohesiveness. Okay, strengthening a sense of oneness, then training and skills building in human relations. Okay, training and skills also helps to building a good human relation. Okay, policies to promote coordination and cooperation among the employees. So there are some norms, policies. Okay, so by following those policies, it helps to promote coordination and cooperation among the employees in that organization. Okay, so these are the main strategies which are helps to promote cardinal human relations. Okay, so moving forward to the next slide. So we'll discuss about understanding self. Okay, what do you mean by self understanding? So one person is not born with a self concept. Okay, rather it develops as a result of social interactions with others. Okay, so self concept is an individual's conceptualization about how one thinks about him or about her. Okay, so it is a subjective sense of self and a complex mixture of unconscious and conscious thoughts, attitudes. Okay, perceptions. So self concept is a person's understanding of how and what someone thinks about him or her. Okay, understanding the self is the ability to understand one's own thoughts and own actions. Okay, so what do you mean by this understanding the self? First, self concept is a person's understanding. Okay, understanding how and what someone thinks about him or her. Okay, so this understanding the self is a ability, it is a capability to understand one's own thoughts and one's own actions. Okay, so it is a subjective sense of the self and a complex mixture of unconscious and conscious thoughts, attitudes, perception. Okay, next we will discuss about what are the definitions of understanding self. Okay, understanding self represents the sum of total of people's. Okay, sum total of people's conscious perception of their identity as distinct from others. Okay, so it is not a static phenomenon but continues to develop and change throughout our lives, which is stated by George Herbert Head. Okay, so according to George Herbert Head, self understanding or understanding self is defined as it represents the sum total of people's conscious perception of their identity as distinct from others. Okay, it is not a static phenomenon but continues to develop and change throughout our lives. Okay, whole life it is changing and developing. Okay, continuously it is developing and changing throughout our lives. Okay, human lives. Then according to Richard Stevens, understanding self is defined as a thinking about what is involved in being. Okay, what is involved in being, what distinguishes you from being an object, an animal, or or different person. So what he said, understanding self is thinking about what is involved in being. Okay, what distinguishes you from being an object, an animal, or a different person. What makes you different from these things? Okay, next, what are the importance why we are reading understanding of self? Okay, understanding self, why, what are the importance of understanding self? So self understanding has been recognized as a key competency for individuals to function efficiently organizations. Okay, so it has been recognized as a key competency for the human beings, for the individuals to function effectively organizations. Okay, efficiently organizations. Okay, so it helps to function efficiently in the organizations. Okay, it influences an individual's ability to make key decisions about self and about others around. Okay, and about also about the organizations. It helps to influence, it helps to take good decisions. Okay, good decisions about self. Okay, about others also. It helps to influence an individual's ability. Okay, then understanding the self equips individuals with making more effective career. It helps to understand the self equips individuals with making more effective career and life choices. Okay, the ability to lead, it helps to understand the ability to lead, guide, inspire with authenticity, resulting in significantly improved organizational productivity. Okay, so these are the importance why we are studying self understanding, why it is important. Okay, it helps to understand, it helps to recognize as a key competency for the individuals to function efficiently in the organizations. Okay, it influences the individual's ability to make key decisions. It helps it understanding the self equips individuals with making more effective career. It helps to making more effective career and self choices. Okay, the next we'll see what are all the important components of self concept. Okay, the components of self concept are identity, body image, role, performance, and self esteem, and their interrelationship are illustrated. Okay, in this figure. So we'll see one by one. There are four main components of self concept. Okay, so first we'll see about the body image. So body image involves attitudes related to body, including physical appearance, structure, or you can say including functions, structures. Okay, so feelings about body image include those related to sexuality, femininity, youthful health, and strength. Body image is affected by cognitive growth and physical development. Okay, it is affected by cognitive growth and physical development. So cultural and societal attitudes and values also influence by body image. Okay, so culture and society dictate. Okay, culture and society dictate the accepted norms of the norms of body image, and it can influence one's attitude. So what do you mean by body image? Body image, it involves attitudes related to body, which include physical appearance, structure and functions. Okay, so which here the feelings about body image include those related to sexuality, femininity, okay, youthfulness, health, strength. Okay, it is affected by cognitive growth and physical development. Next we'll see about the personal identity. So identity, you can say, what do you mean by identity? So it involves the internal sense of individuality, wholeness, okay, consistency of a person over time and in various circumstances. So it identity, personal identity involves the internal sense of individuality, wholeness and consistency of a person over time and in various circumstances. So being oneself is the core of identity. Okay, you can say core of personal identity, being oneself. Okay, so in a child learns culturally accepted values, behaviors and roles through identifications and modeling. Okay, identity is frequently gained from the self observation and from what individuals are told about themselves. Okay, so an individual first identifies with the parenting figures, with the first, the child, the newborn, you can say, the individual first identifies with the parenting figures and later with the teachers, peers and role models. Okay, so the child must be able to bring together learned behaviors and expectations to form an identity into a coherent, consistent and unique whole. Okay, so this is the personal identity we have learned. Okay, so it involves the internal sense of individuality, wholeness. Okay, being oneself is a core of identity. Okay, next we'll discuss about the role performance. Okay, so performance is the way, here the role performance is the way in which an individual perceives his or her ability to carry our significant roles. Okay, so this includes roles such as parent, supervisor, or close friend. Okay, role performance, roles that individuals follow in given situations which involves socialization to expectations or standards of behavior. So behaviors that are approved by society are developed and maintained through the following processes. Okay, so these are all about the role performance. Next we'll see about the self esteem. Okay, so self esteem is an individual's overall sense of self worth. Okay, or you can say the emotional appraisal of self concept. So it can be understood as the most fundamental core of self evaluation that an individual holds about himself or herself, because it represents the overall judgment of personal worth and worth, or you can say value. Okay, personal value. So self esteem is a positive when one feels capable, worthwhile and competent. Okay, so considering the relationship between a person's self concept and it has considering the relationship between a person's self concept and his or her ideal self can enhance to understanding the self esteem. Okay, so the ideal self consists of the aspirations, goals, values and standards of behavior that a person considers ideal and strives to attain. Okay, strive to attain. So a positive sense of self-esteem is an important variable in determining how an individual functions in the world, okay, in the whole world. So a person's ability to contribute in a meaningful way to society often affects self-concept and self-esteem. Okay, so these are all about the self-esteem. So what do you mean by self-esteem? It is an overall sense of self-worth, okay, or it is an overall sense of emotional appraisal of self-concept, you can say, okay. So which can be understood as the most fundamental core of self-evaluation that an individual holds about himself or herself, because it represents the overall judgment of a personal worth, okay. So there are some factors which are affecting self-concept, okay, like development, family, culture. So these are the factors: stressors, resources, history of success or failure, okay, history of success and failure, illness. So these are the factors which are affecting the self-concept, okay. Next, we'll see about the Johari window. So it's a tool to understanding self. Okay, so it helps to understand self. Okay, so the Johari window, which is created by Joseph Luft and Harry Ingham, okay, is a useful tool for providing self-explanation. It is a useful tool which helps to understand self explanation, and it helps to provide self explanation, okay. So there are four panes of the Johari window represents the four parts of our self, okay. So the public self, the hidden self, the blind spot, and the unconscious self, okay. So these are the four panes, okay, of the Johari window, which represents the four parts of our life, of our self, okay. So public self, which is, so Johari window is a model of different degrees of openness between two people, so which is based on the degree of self disclosure and solicitation of feedback when sharing information with another person, okay. So we have already discussed. It was devised by American psychologists Joseph Loft and Harry Ingham in 1955 while researching group dynamics at the University of California, Los Angeles. Okay, the model was first published in the proceeding of the Western Training Laboratory in Group Development by ULCA Extension Office in 1955, and it was later expanded by Joseph Luft. Okay. So why they call it as Johari window? Loft and Income is they both called their Johari window model Johari after combining their first name. So that's why they called Johari window. Okay, Joe and Harry, their first names Joe and Harry. So that's why they call as Johari. Okay, and in early publications, the word appears as Johari. Okay, so this is the history of the name behind of this Johari window. Okay, we'll see what are the definitions. Okay, the Johari window model is a simple and useful tool for illustrating and improving self-awareness and mutual understanding between individuals within a group. Okay, so this model can also be used to assess or improve a group's relationship with the other groups. Okay, next we'll see what are the uses, why we are using Johari window. Okay, Johari windows soon become a widely used model for understanding and training purpose. Okay, self-awareness, understanding and training self-awareness, then personal development, improving communications, interpersonal relationship, group dynamics, team development. It helps to develop the team, okay, and in intergroup relationship, okay, it helps to create. So it helps to understand and train the self awareness, okay. So these are the uses why we are using Johari window. So actually what the actually model represents, here we will discuss. The Johari window model is also referred to as a disclosure feedback model of self-awareness and by some people an information processing tool. Okay, the Johari window actually represents information, feelings, experience, views, attitudes, skills, intentions, motivation, etc. So within our about a person, so in relation to their groups from four perspectives, okay. So what are all the areas of this model? Okay, there are four areas as I discussed, okay. So four areas, four Johari window perspectives are called regions or areas, you can say quadrants also we can call it as, okay. Each of these regions contains and represents the information, feelings, motivation, etc. So these are known about the person in terms of whether the information is known or unknown by the person and whether the information is known or unknown by others in the group, okay. So these are the four quadrants or four areas, okay. First one is open or free area, open or free area. Second one is blind area. Third one is unknown area, and fourth one is hidden area, okay. So four quadrants already told you. What are those? What is known by the person about him or herself or is also known by others, that is called open area. Open self also you can say. Free area also you can call free self. The arena also, arena you can say. Open area first quadrant, okay. So what is known by person about himself and is also known by others, okay. This is known as open area. In this type of open area, in this quadrant, the person know about himself, okay, and also other peoples are also known about that person, okay. That is known as open area. Then blind area will discuss what is unknown by the person about himself but which others know. Other person know about himself, okay, but that person he don't know, he is unknown about himself. That is known as blind area or blind self or blind spot, you can say. It is important quadrant, okay. Sometimes questions comes in the in the exams, okay. You should have to remember what is blind area or blind spot. In this type of in this type of quadrant, the person don't know, the person is unknown, okay, unknown about himself or herself, but other persons are know about that person. That is blind area. Then third quadrant or hidden area, what we call, what the person knows about himself that others don't know, okay. Here that person knows about himself or herself, but other peoples they don't know about that person, okay. That is known as hidden area or hidden self or avoided area, avoided self, facade. So these are the variety types of names, okay, different types of names, but this meaning is same. Then unknown area or unknown self, what does it mean? What is unknown by the person about himself or herself, it is also unknown by others. So they both don't know, the other persons are don't know about that person, and the person, particular person also don't know about himself or herself. That is known as unknown area or unknown self, okay. So Johari region, in the first region it is also known as the area of free activity. This is the information about the person behavior, attitude, feelings, emotion, knowledge, experience, skills, views, etc. Okay, known by the person. Person means the self, and known by the groups, others. Okay, that particular person also don't know. The person is known about himself or herself, and other persons are also know about that person. That is known as open or free area. Second one is blind spot. As I discussed, this is the second reason where what is known about a person by others in the group, but is unknown by the person himself or herself. But here what happens, other persons are known about that particular person, but the person is unknown about himself or herself. Okay, then third one is, this is the third reason. Okay, third quadrant of Johari window. Okay, hidden area. So here what is known to ourselves but kept hidden from, and therefore unknown to others. Okay, we are keeping here hide, okay, from others. Okay, so what we know of ourselves, but we are keeping hide, we kept hidden, but kept hidden from others. The other persons don't know about that person, but that person is known about himself or herself. Okay, so that is the hidden area. Fourth one is, this is the fourth quadrant or fourth region of the Johari window. Okay, unknown area. So it contains information, feelings, talent, abilities, aptitudes, experiences, it is etc. So that are unknown to the person himself or herself, and unknown to others in the group. Okay, so what happens here? So what the things, the person is unknown about himself or herself, and also the groups, the other individuals are also unknown about that person. Okay, about that person, that is known as unknown area. Okay, they both, the person and the other individuals are don't know, they both are unknown about. Okay, so that is known as unknown area. Okay, so what we got from this Johari window, by using Johari window we can improve open self area and get better opportunities. Okay, yes or no? Okay, but interpersonal behavior can be maintain good relation and success in life. Okay, by transaction analysis can be maintaining adult over the transaction. Okay, so it helps to improve, it can help to improve open self area and get better opportunity. It helps to get give better opportunities. Okay, so what we have discussed today, so what are the strategies we have discussed today in today's class? Strategies to promote cardinal human relations. Okay, understanding the selves. Oh, self understanding, what is that meaning, definitions, introduction, what are the importance of self understanding. Okay, then what are the components, main components of self understanding. Okay, what are those four components? Body image. First one is body image. We had already discussed what do we mean by body image. Okay, then personal identity, role performance, self esteem. Okay, we have already discussed. Please go through it. Definition, importance already. Then we have discussed about Johari window. We learned about Johari window. What are this is a tool to understanding self. What are the four quadrants already discussed? What are the strategies to improve the self understanding? Okay, so these are the strategies to increase the size of the to increase the size of the open window vertically downwards into the hidden space. One can disclose his or her personal information, feelings to the team members. It helps. Okay, it helps to increase the unknown. The unknown area can be reduced by others' observation, self-discovery, or mutual enlightenment via group experiences and discussions. Okay, blind self is not an effective space for individuals or groups, so it needs to be demonized. So this can be done by seeking or soliciting feedback from others, thereby increasing the open area. The hidden window must always be at the individual's own discretion. So we have discussed up to this slide. Okay, so we'll see the other portion of this unit in the next class. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can ask me. You can put a personal message to me. Okay, if you have what is your questions, okay, you can ask me personally. Thank you for listening me. Have a good day.